direct from the fabulous
Another great round there, boys.
Yeah, he's just ticking off the rounds, just winning them on work rate, and like I said, his tactics have been just to try
Round
and take the opponent out of their zone. We talked about Adam being in the zone before, and he's very present, so he's like thinking about what's going on at that moment. So if you can create another emotion and make them angry or relax or anything like that, the object of sledging is to make someone think about something in the past or in the future, and you're taking them out of that good mindset. So smiling obviously can be a sign that you've hurt someone, they're trying to show you it hasn't, but also obviously it can be a way of trying to take your opponent out of their workmanlike performance and make them change the tactic, which is quite clearly working in the case of Adam Lovelock. That was worth waiting for.
Yeah. I just missed the first bit. Could you go over that again?
I charge for that, mate.
Boys starting to mix it a bit there, Steve.
Yeah, I think as I said, these last couple of rounds, Peter's going to realise he's well behind on the cards, and the only shot at winning this fight is to knock Adam out.
Now, I see you train Adam really well there with the gloves, mate, keeping him up high, so none of those fists are coming through.
Yeah, I mean, 2 fights previous he was fighting James Chan for a belt and was winning clearly 6-7 rounds, and then just got caught with a massive right hand, and everyone, I know Peter Brennan hasn't got the punching power of James Chan, but James Chan is a known puncher, and we knew that going into the fight. So we had similar tactics, but as Adam mentioned previously about just switching off that brief second, and that's all it takes, especially when you're in against a puncher. Adam's getting warned about his head again. Doesn't need to do anything silly with the fight, well and truly in his favour at the moment.
But yeah, I think again, just to re-emphasise, he's just the longer the fight's gone on, it's almost like the higher his guard's got and tighter he stayed. It's like all the mistakes he'd made in his other last 2 fights have allowed him to improve as a fighter. So that's those losses have inspired him to go away and fix a fault which had developed in his game, and it's always good when you see someone work hard and get the results that they deserve from it.
I don't think Peter Brennan's showing enough urgency here. He needs to step it up a little bit if he wants to win this fight.
Well, it's been a good fight. I mean, they both lasted the distance.
Yeah, look, as I said, there's not really that much between them, and that's why it's a good fight, But in saying that, Adam, in my opinion, is doing enough to win each round.
Yeah.
So I suppose at the end of this fight, when you look at the scorecards, and they're going to read something like 100 to 90, which gives Adam every round, and you could look at that and go, that was a one-sided fight. But as you can see, we're watching. It's not. It's a good contest. It's a good battle. There's not much in it, but Adam just landing the cleaner shots and probably pressing the fight and making the fight a little bit better than Peter.
Yeah, he's just nicking every round, not dominating it, but he's just nicking each round.
It's certainly not a one-sided fight. So the boys come in for the last round, touch gloves.
Round 10. Here we go, the last one. You never know, Steve. Could be a knockout for Peter. Who knows?
Well, it won't be because Steve's already told us the result. So he's good at ruining things like that, eh?
I'll keep the next one secret if you like.
He ruined that earlier as well, didn't he?
No, it's good to see Adam Lovelock. I think, he knows he's won most of these rounds and the fight's in the bag, but he could get on his bike and just move away and not really mix it up too much and get caught. But he's still doing the same thing he's done for the last 9 rounds. He's coming forward, he's pushing the fight, and he's still looking to land shots. And I'm sure most fighters are like that. They're not going to look for the safe option. They're going to fight right till the end, to the final bell.
Yeah, I mean, it would be easy to sort of just get on your bike and play safe, but I guess if it's worked for the first 9 rounds, doing what he's doing,
Stick to it.
Stick to it. But certainly the history of boxing is littered with people who have got ahead in fights and then tried to go defensive and change what was a winning strategy for themselves and ended up losing. So good to see him just maintaining that same strategy which he's taken throughout the whole fight. Bit of a moody shot from the corner of the canvas there. Different, wonderful production we've got here. Surfaroo, all the latest technology, mate. It's taking it into the 21st century. I love the way you put it a little bit out of focus as well, just to give it that little bit of
that twinge, mate.
That twinge,
looking through the fighter's eyes, just being here.
So the reality feel. Cutting edge stuff, mate.
I think Adam knows he's got it down.
Yeah.
He's just keeping it up and just waiting until the finish of the round.
And on the night, you could just hear so many shouts coming in these last couple of rounds of stay focused, just everybody, making sure that giving him the audible cues that he would stay.
Do you actually hear that out there when you're focused on fighting, or do you just totally turn off and don't hear what they say?
Well, it depends who you are. I mean, I hear what everyone says, but I don't listen to any of it. I just do my own thing. But that's something that we're working on. But
as a coach and as a past fighter, as a fighter, it's hard to hear anything outside from the crowd. But what we do is we try to pick a few key words. Like Adam said, we would be yelling out focus. So before the fight, Adam knows there's certain things. If I yell out feet, we're talking about his footwork that we've been practicing, or just a few key words, so that when they hear that, they know what to work on or think of. Because it is hard with the crowd yelling. You're really just concentrating on that guy in the ring, and a lot of times you don't really hear individual calls. Every now and then you'll hear something out of the blue, something distinctive. But as far as following instructions from your coach, it's usually 1 or 2 key words is what works best.
Let's go down and check out Mr. Dave Ella, our MC.
A brighter, more beautiful diamond as we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge Paul Tapley scored the fight 100 to 89. Judge Willie Lewis scored the fight 100 to 89. Judge Selwyn Curry scored the fight 100 to 90. All for the winner and the new WBC Asia Council Continental Cruiserweight Champion, Adam Lovelock.
love their belts, these boys. They love them.
Pretty tough sport. They fight for purses and belts and wear satin boxer shorts. And get punched in the ring.
Oh,
But dude, did I say that? Did I really say that?
I'm not sure. This is a kid show, isn't it?
Well, Adam, first of all, mate, massive congratulations. That's going to be one of your biggest wins for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Thanks, David. Absolutely 10 rounds. I just want to start by thanking Peter for giving me a shot at his title. Really appreciate that. So, thank you. was a good tough fight, tough 10 rounds. He was prepared really well for it, and coming off the loss, I just unlucky got caught in that last fight, but really stayed switched to his head for this, and I was awesome crowd as well, just kept me going, so thank you everybody. And a tough fighter too, he's had 36 fights, he's a tough bloke, he's had the title, and for him to come up here and actually take you on as well, coming off the loss, you must have been mentally maybe not in probably the best of shape. But tell us, how did you prepare for this, especially coming off that loss to James Chan?
Well, mate, that's very simple solution to that. You see this man over here, Mark Edmondson. He's got peak performance mind training. He specialises in training athletes and sports people with the mind, and I've been seeing him twice a week for the last 4 weeks. And, mate, I wasn't even nervous coming into this fight. My prep has just been awesome. It's just 100% a new me fighting tonight. Thank you, Mark. Just 100%. All praise to Mark. Anyone needs anything mental, look him up.
Now, the fight, just going back over the fight for just a moment, round 5, I think he hit him with a nice little whip. He went down for the 8 count, and it seemed then from really round 5 onwards it was you all over.
Yeah, our plan was to target the body early and then hopefully drop his hands and go to the head, but the whole time I tried to stay switch because I knew he was coming out of that big bomb, so I was targeting that body. He was trying to play against, trying to get the left on the side and stuff, but the main focus was, again, our training was to stay focused, stay to our plan, and just, and that's what we've done, and we've come over the goods. So.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's awesome to see you come back after a loss like you did, take on a tough fight, take on this, probably one of the toughest fights of your career, and come away with the title. Absolutely fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the new champion and Speaking of new champions, recently winning the WBF World Featherweight title, can you put your hands together as we get her inside the ring, Shannon Shotgun O'Connell. Tell us how difficult it is to get inside the ring with the dress on. It's there.
Much harder than boxing now.
Well, congratulations. Tell us about this fight. You've just won the WBF World Featherweight title over in South Africa. Run us quickly through that fight.
It was awesome experience going over there. I mean, she was a hometown girl, but they were in the press saying she was going to knock me out and things like that. It was awesome. They studied me well. They fought the right fight to fight me. They ran from me. They stayed away from certain punches. But yeah, I think after my fight, after the loss I came from in Korea, she could have hit me with a sledgehammer and I wasn't going to stop.
Now you also, just the same as Adam did, you came off a loss, a pretty devastating loss from your point of view in Korea. How did you mentally get over that to come back and win this title?
It was really hard to get back into the gym straight away. I mean, there was only 5 weeks between the fights, and I was at a point where I'd look at my gloves and I don't want to put you on, but you just got to do what you're going to do. It's my job.
Now you're going to fight in Vegas coming up shortly as well.
Yeah, we should have confirmation in the next week. I've got a definite defence in France in November, but we're hoping to get one in Vegas before then.
How good is that? You win a world title, you start travelling the world and defending your titles, fighting in Las Vegas. So tell me, France, that's coming up before you leave Vegas. When's that?
Within the next 90 days.
Awesome stuff. Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. She is the new WBF World Featherweight Champion. Please, big round of applause for this beautiful lady, Shannon Shotgun O'Connell. Congratulations. Otherwise, we'll close that down and notify the people that are successful with that.
Coming soon.
Entertainment Plus presents Pete the Surfaroo. Welcome everybody. What you're about to see is a real true blue Australian family viewing visual series with interviews, fun-packed light-hearted humour, learning experiences, and it's all full of laughs. Unbelievable interviews and stories, spills, energy and adrenaline pumping, featuring sports, celebs, health, renos, competitions, great locations, heaps of nature and wildlife, detective stories, special events and heaps more.
Hey guys, and welcome back to Surfaroo Sports. We've got Steve Ning and Mr. Adam Hollyoak. And of course, we've got Shannon Shotgun O'Connell coming up for a fight soon. She was down there on the ring just talking about some of the fights, Steve.
Yep. Yeah, we've got Shannon coming up on one of my cards as well, a bit later in the year.
Yep.
Yeah, look, she's a massive talent. There's a great amateur, number 2 in the world as an amateur, and turned professional now. She's already won 1 world title over in South Africa. She's got another one coming up in Korea immediately, and then she'll be back on the Gold Coast fighting for a local fan. Yeah, she's doing well. Said she hasn't come out of nowhere. She's been around the boxing scene for a long time in the amateurs, and done a time in the amateurs, and got a young family too. So it's not easy out there, and she's just been lucky enough to get some sponsors behind her recently, which is few and far between for the blokes, let alone the women. So hats off to her, and wish her all the best.
Great to see the girls up there, and of course the Aussie Australian girls winning world titles.
Yeah,
and she'll be joining us as one of the compares here on our show in upcoming shows. Okay, let's go down to our next fight, Adam, and this is the big one.
Yeah, mate, this is the one everyone's
the main event.
wanting to see.
This is for bragging rights, as the promotion's called.
And both fighters have got a past.
Yeah, look, Chris Carden from Narang PCYC and myself work closely together. We're actually very good mates, and it's a bit hard sometimes to put our boys in against each other. But as I said, Les has taken this fight on 3 weeks' notice, and you got to take your hats off to this man. He's been around a long time. He's fought everyone in Australia.
Let's get our fighters out here in the red corner. Please welcome Rowan Murdoch. Have you ever seen someone go excited to get inside of a boxing ring? And in the blue corner, his opponent tonight, please welcome Les Piper.
Hey, how you going? Les Piper here, 29 years old, had 28 pro fights, 14 wins, 11 losses, and 3 draws. And up for my 29th bout tonight against young Rowan Murdoch. I believe it's going to be a tough fight. Preparation hasn't been the best. I took it on short notice, but I'll be doing my best. So I can't wait to get out there and start punching.
Our final part of the night, all thanks to JL Corporation. Ladies and gentlemen, getting 3 rounds of boxing action. In the red corner, he weighing last night 76.85 kilos, 11 fights, 10 wins, 9 by Rowan Murdoch. Fighting out of the Narang PCYC, he is the current WBO Asia Pacific Super Middleweight Champion, Rowan Murdoch. His opponent in the blue corner, weighing in at 76.9 kilos. He's had 28 professional fights, 14 wins and 13 draws. Trained by CMG Matrix Boxing Gym, he is the former IBM Pan Pacific and Australian Super Middleweight Champion. Please welcome Les Piper! Our final fight of the evening, scheduled from
grin on Les Piper. A lot of feeling between these two boys. As I said, they're sparring partners over the years, helping each other
Round
win
one.
fights. Les has just come straight out, big right hand straight away, and again. Rowan's probably got the upper hand in the hand speed and foot speed.
Good
Right hand by Les Piper.
Wrestling him back onto the rope.
Yeah, look, as I said earlier, Les Piper's just going to come out and he's going to make this an ugly fight. You know, he's going to come out and he's going to put the pressure on and really get on Rowan's chest and put him off his game.
Les is a very hard fighter, goes in for it.
Yeah, mate, he's been around a long time and tough as nails. So, be interesting the clash of styles in this fight. You can see the hand speed there of Rowan. He's just throwing 3 or 4 punch combination, and the speed was phenomenal.
Now, Adam, these two guys, believe it or not, are really good mates.
Yeah, that's what mates do, isn't it? They just bash each other.
Yeah,
so
that's it.
It's it's just fun, you know.
Nice counter punching. Oh, nice right hand there by Les Piper.
And
That really woke Rowan up. He's just moving a little bit now to get his bearings again.
it's a great start to the fight by Les. Just putting it all out there. There are not many people giving Les much of a chance in this fight, but he just comes out and really laying it down to Rowan.
A little bit of background, Les Piper has actually probably been about 7 months since he's been in the ring, and when I say in the ring, he hasn't even been at training for 7 months.
Wow.
He's taken this fight on 3 weeks' notice, and normally if you're in training that's not too bad, but he's done nothing. He's been out in the paddock, so they say, since his last fight, which was a knockout loss in the 9th round to Ben McCulloch. Now Ben McCulloch's beat Les for his WBA Pan Pacific title down in Sydney. We went down there, and Ben McCulloch's one of the hardest punching boxers in Australia in all weight divisions, pound for pound. He's now got a record of 13 wins and 12 knockouts. So just goes to show you how much of a puncher he is. And Les has had some time off, but got the call up last minute for this, and was happy to help save the show for me. And you got to take your hat off to him. He's 3 weeks preparation, and I can tell you he's probably only been in the gym 3 or 4 times a week in 3 weeks. So he's got a tough 10 rounds coming up. So we'll see what he can do.
Mate, he's not shining at all. He looks fit and peaking. Mate, he's looking good.
Mate, he's come out with all the bad intentions that he would have had with the 10-week preparation.
Now, mixing it up here for Rowan, if he wins this one or loses it, but basically if he does win it, are we looking at bigger fights for Rowan coming up? Is he eventually going to be going overseas for some big fights?
Yeah, look, we're looking at that. He's at that stage in the career where there's not too many more in Australia that will fight him, or in New Zealand. The New Zealanders' top fighters don't want anything to do with Rowan. We've offered them good money to come over here, but they don't seem to want to come. There's a few top super middleweights in Australia at the moment, but a lot of them, once again, a couple of boys in Victoria that won't come up here and fight, and the fighters up here are a little bit hesitant to go down to Victoria as well. Each party thinks they're not going to get a fair decision or a fair go in each state, so sometimes it's hard to make those fights. In saying that, there's those top boys in Melbourne like Jake Carr, if he can build himself up like Rowan has, and it could be domestically a very good fight in another year or two. A bit like the Danny Green, Anthony Mundine fight was.
Mate, sounds good.
Yeah.
Here we go for round 2, everyone. Another big one.
Crackerjack first round. Just
it was non-stop. Les Piper just coming out and throwing big right-hand bombs and landing a few, and Rowan with his hand speed putting together some really slick combinations.
landed a couple of really good shots on Rowan, which is obviously going to give him something to think about.
Yeah. Look at Les just coming straight back after getting hit with a nice crisp right hand.
Oh,
nice little uppercut on the inside there from Rowan.
Yeah, both these lads pretty fast, Adam.
Yeah, they're very fast. Obviously, top of their profession and top of for their weight in the country. So, you're seeing guys here, the best at what they do and in their weight in the country. So.
And look, even though it was short notice, this fight for Les, look, this is actually a fair step up for Rowan Murdoch, fighting Les Piper, who's a veteran of something like 25 fights, and as I said, he's fought all the best super middleweights and middleweights and even light heavyweights in the country. So, Rowan's only 21 years of age. At this stage, he's only had just 10, 11 fights, and it's a big ask for him. Some people may call Les Piper a bit of a journeyman now, but he takes the tough fights, and all the up and comers want to fight him because their coaches know that Les Piper is going to give them a tough fight, and if their boy has got any ability and going to make a name for himself in the sport, they have to beat fighters like Les Piper.
Yep.
And there's no easy fight against Les. You never get
Never an easy fight.
Even if you're way more skilled than him, and he's just going to keep coming at you, and he's going to keep throwing punches.
He's probably one of the most sought after boxers in this country, as I said, for these up and coming young talents that are coming through the ranks at the moment, out of the amateurs and stepping into the pro ranks. They all want to fight Les Piper, so
wow.
he stays quite busy.
You want him on your show as well, because the entertainment he gives the crowd, people love watching him fight.
There's no nonsense. He comes out and he puts it all on the line, wears his heart on his sleeve.
This fight has kind of got that state of origin kind of feel about it, mates just going at each other. Sometimes mates go at each other harder than they would do if they didn't like each other, so it's got that sort of camaraderie sort of.
You see Rowan just starting to find his range now, starting to land a few nice shots from the outside, setting it up with his lead hand.
Now, Steve, with up-and-coming boxers like Rowan, he's only young. A lot of coaches seem to put their foot in and put him straight up to the big matches where they lose. You taking him more through the ranks to sort of get him up there for the big one?
Yeah, look, I'm working in conjunction with his coach, Chris Carden, and we're really trying to bring him up and get him the experience. And this is one of those fights. These are one of the fights that he's going to learn a lot about himself in this fight, Rowan Murdoch. And, these are the fights he needs.
Great rounds. I think we'll be hearing a lot about Rowan in upcoming fights, mate.
Yeah, definitely. At the moment, I've got a one round each. I think Les did enough in that first round to take that round off Rowan, and Rowan in that second round just started landing from the outside and just picking Les off a little bit, not letting him get in on the inside.